There is a love reading that is just dying to get out. This is a timeless reading, so anytime that you come across this, if it feels right to you, if it feels like it's resonating with you, then it's meant for you. I'm just going to go ahead and explain the situation, talk about the two people in the relationship, and if it feels right to you, then this is the reading for you. And then afterwards, I'm going to ask for advice around this specific connection. There has been love and romance really, really coming out strong for a lot of people in the collective. So, this specific reading, I'm going to do one for singles soon, but this one is for a committed relationship or a relationship that's been around for a long time. There might be like some on again, off again energy to it for some people. For others, this actually might be a marriage. So you've been, pretty connected, or like you've been pretty committed to each other for a long time. But basically, it feels like there's a lot of history here in this relationship. It also feels like there's a lot of love, but maybe just like a lot of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and read. You can identify with being person A or person B. There's going to be both people drawn to this reading. So I'm going to actually get advice for both people. But here they are. Here's the description. So person A loves turning things upside down. They're kind of like, they might have some neurodivergent ADHD energy to them. They enjoy DIY projects. Might be someone who says, trust me a lot, and then takes control of everything that they do. They could be spontaneous, run late, be a people person, a party animal. This person thinks and dreams big. They're the idea person. They're creative, have an artistic eye. They're a go-getter. They are also kind of critical and resistant to change, but they're not fully closed off to it. They can be a problem solver, but they also think very highly of their opinions. And so person A also has trouble accepting ideas that aren't theirs. Now, person B, their purpose is to push people out of their comfort zone. They put out the fires of person A. They love music and making a warm social home. They are currently living probably like a healthier lifestyle. Person B kind of enjoys making people nervous and takes person A's input freely and builds them up. So they can actually also make the dreams and ideas of person A a reality. Person B can also stand up for themselves, their needs, their desires, their ideas, when that's needed. So they're not a pushover. They are a good communicator. They make person A a little more palatable, digestible, and more understandable to people. But person B also can struggle with low self-esteem. So the strengths in this relationship, if those resonate with you, that it might not be like every single little thing, but if it's like enough things, then you know this is for you. I just want to talk real quick about the strengths of this connection. This pair makes a good team. They really complement each other very, very well. They also communicate very frequently. There might be like still some things that need to be worked out in their communication, but they really prioritize each other and make space for each other, make time for each other. They could also be really good business partners and manage their finances well together. I see also that there's real love and real romance in this connection. For some, maybe you're going through a transition. This definitely feels like this relationship is in a moment of transit, and it's becoming deeper, and um, it feels like you're leaving one chapter behind and going into a new chapter together, right? But there are big questions around this relationship, around the new chapter. Um, so some of the issues that you might be facing are that you may be in a long distance relationship, or just like not in the same location often because there's frequent travel, at least for one of you. There also may be like skeletons in the closet, like secrets that you don't share with other people. There are things that need to be released in this connection to change the flow of it. And there's also a difference. There are differences in the wants and needs of their social life, of each one's social life. Um, as far as solutions to some of those problems, you know that there are like some big new ideas needed here. Trust needs to be nurtured and restored. You both need to be pushed out of your comfort zone. You need to release control. And there needs to be compromise with each other between comfort and change. One of you might like to push and the other one might like to stay in the comfort zone. And so there needs to be compromise in both areas. You also might need better sleeping arrangements, like either poor sleep, like either you get poor sleep when you're together, so then you don't sleep together, or you are sleeping together and you're getting poor sleep. Either way, there's like romantic disconnection that happens here around like sleeping arrangements. I'm talking like actually like falling asleep and being asleep next to each other. And this exacerbates fights and starts fights. There's a need to loosen up, to play more, to party more together, have fun, to lounge around, to get a little R&R. And then there's also the need to be honest with others, to stop keeping up appearances, and to let people in, build community. There's also some general advice here that I'm gonna that came to me as I was sitting with this energy, that I'm gonna get into before I like start pulling the advice for person A and person B. So that is, if someone here is wondering whether to move or relocate, that won't solve anything. You'll just bring your problems with you. So actually working on the problems is the thing that's going to help you feel better, not the moving or relocating. There may have been an argument. Person A disagrees with a decision that person B made. There may be like a standoff or a need to agree to disagree. So sometimes person B actually needs to win and stand up for themselves. And like I said, they're no pushover. So that's something to consider. Proposal may have recently been accepted. I know that somebody here is ready for marriage if they're not married already. There are mother issues that were inherited here, especially for person B, who's maybe has a tendency to feel a little bit trapped. Person A does recognize this and wants to help, and I think that person B's mother could be like very judgy, and like maybe somebody who like insists upon coercing confessions out of people and like inflicting punishment for like perceived harms, or like, you know, like for the things that she judges on. Person B, I think, is beginning to see that person A really loves them and believes person A now about that. So they're entering a new chapter of passionate, sensual connection. So if you've been wanting a better schmex life, then that's definitely coming in this connection. Okay, so let's take a look at just some confirmations. I'm going to be using the Manara deck. I'm probably not going to be able to show you a lot of these because this is a very sensual deck, a very erotic deck. But I just want to get a little bit of information just to confirm some of the things that I just like talk to you about, and then that way I'm not just like full of it, and and then we'll get like some advice. So what's going on in this connection? Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups for, I'm going to take that for person A, and then the Seven of Cups for person B. And then, I like to look at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, which is the need to clear things away. There are definitely things that are bogging down this relationship. I'm seeing here with person A, the Two of Cups. I'm feeling like person A actually is kind of being a little bit more clingy right now. Like the images of, I can show you if I just cover part of it. But the image is of him like kind of holding on to her for dear life. It's like he's really, and like he's loving on her a lot, it feels like. It's like a very passionate energy, right? Also, this one I can't show you, but for Seven of Cups, that's like for person B, I think that person B has been learning how to separate the childhood trauma from like reality. There's also this feeling of that person, there's like this voyeuristic feeling in this card. So it feels like there's this person who it's a person who's been very scrutinized. A person who's been very scrutinized. So there's like some like running and chasing energy in this spread. I'm seeing Cancer energy, Pisces energy, Scorpio, Leo, anything ruled by Venus or Mars. We've got Temperance. Can't show you this one either, but there's Sagittarius energy in this one. The need for balance, the need to take time out, the need to be patient with each other and patient with this connection, knowing that there is real love here, there is real transformation, real connection happening here. A real commitment. A renewed commitment. I also have here the Ace of Wands. Can't show you this image, but it kind of like this image is making me think of the phrase "eat your heart out." Bottom of the deck, we have Six of Pentacles. It feels like someone wants to offer another person stability. It feels like to me like person A really wants to offer person B stability. That person A recognizes that person B has never had stability. Okay. Yeah, this feels very aligned with what I was saying. So let's get some advice for person A first. Spirit, what is the advice for person A? Advice for person A. We have the Nine of Cups, generosity in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Stones, the Page of Pentacles with the links. Spirit. There's a need to, I just saw 555 on the timer. There's a need to move with stealth, with precision, with intention. There's a feeling of like stalking your prey. The Nine of Cups is a card of talks like nine is about the spiritual path, the like more of like a witchiness. It's like wishes, also like wishes and manifestation, abundance. Spirit, can you clarify this Nine of Cups, please? Clarify this Nine of Cups. Got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Person A is currently having difficulty seeing the blessings that are right in front of their face. Currently having difficulty, I think, achieving stability. Feels to me like person A is on a journey of achieving stability. It's like material stability. It's material stability, but like the cups really also has to do a lot with like the belief in oneself. And person A actually strikes me as someone who does believe in themselves. Spirit, can you give me a little bit more information here about person A, the advice that they need right now? We got the Forest Lovers. Ooh. Forest Lovers in reverse. To me, that's like self-reflection, actually, that's needed. There's, it's like someone is holding a mirror up to you. Someone's holding a mirror up. Let's take a look at the bottom, actually, of the deck. Seven of Cups. Morning. Yeah, so this is a confirmation that the I'm just going to try to cover this as much as I can, but that this Seven of Cups, person B, Seven of Cups, is holding a mirror up to you right now. Clarify what this what this Lovers in reverse, Seven of Cups message is. We've got the King of Swords in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Eight of Swords. This has something to do with poor communication. But like I established before, person B is a good communicator. So there's a communication breakdown that's happening with you, person A. That is, like, this person is kind of like they're keeping themselves stuck. Like there's nothing holding them back from like walking forward. It's just this perception that they can't actually get themselves out of the situation. So there's this belief that you can't actually communicate any better than you are, or maybe even like the way that it feels like the way that person B communicates with you maybe has been an issue in your relationship. Let me get some advice from the spirit animals. We've got Hawk Spirit. Let Spirit be your guide. Number 32. Those sirens, I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but that to me is like a confirmation that there is a need for you, an urgent need for you to address something that your intuition has been telling you for a long time. And it doesn't just feel like your intuition. It feels like if you're here, it's because you've been seeing signs, so many signs and synchronicities about this relationship. Let me read this for you. It feels like you're definitely growing in the way that you're viewing relationships and the way that you're treating this relationship. The message here is, flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. Okay, yeah, again, there are definitely signs, synchronicities, symbols that you are seeing especially regarding this connection. And I feel like that has been the issue with your communication, that there are unseen things in your relationship, even in person B, that can only be addressed spiritually. Let's get a little bit more advice from the sirens, from the mermaids. All right. Got a couple of them, 3 of them. Okay. coral's wisdom, colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. Okay, this goes back to the temperance card that came out. This is something that is needed right now. Is for you need to have patience with this. This is something that takes time. This is the person that you're dealing with is very fragile. The connection here right now, it's fragile, not in the sense that, I mean, you've been through a lot, so I think that you can actually withstand a lot together. But the trust is fragile. And like, I think that person B is opening up, and that if you go too fast, or expect things to happen too quickly, the trust gets broken pretty quickly. We have fertility, potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy. This connection is definitely going through an initiation of something new. There is that need to guard what you're building. Maybe even like, there are some things that you do need to keep yourself to yourself, even though I still stand by the need to open up to other people. So it's like allowing community to come in. But this is the best one for you. Okay, this is really good news, a really good sign. It's falling in love, kissing the divine in another and in yourself. There is a mutual energy to this card. Where she's saving him and he's saving her. You're not gonna be the person who's saving this person, but like it's like this only works if you care about each other, if you're saving each other, right? And I think that you're also beginning to see person B as someone who's like very, very divine. And I think that the fact that they have chosen you, even though there seems to be like some friction in this relationship, the fact that person B has chosen you, I think that means a lot to you. And I think that it actually means that they see that you feel like that they see the divinity in you by choosing you in that way. So the advice here is to embrace your divinity, to follow it as like you step into this new chapter in this relationship. For example, it feels like, for some of you, you're taking on more of a role of it's like a leadership role. You might be more in a masculine position. Now, this is a genderless concept. What I'm saying, it's not about whether you're a man or a woman. But when I say masculine, because this could be a queer relationship between two men, two women, two non-binaries, two trans people. Like, there's the energy from you, person A, is a lot more masculine than the energy coming from person B. It's like you're being called upon to provide a safe place for person B, and you know this. So the advice here is that to provide that safe place, you have to see the divinity in yourself and in the other person. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let's go ahead and ask real quick about, not real quick, we're going to give you the same amount of time, don't worry. Let's ask about person B. Okay, so what's the advice for person B, Spirit? What is the advice for person B? We've got the Wheel in reverse and the Wanderer, which is the Fool. The Wheel is great, especially in reverse. It's like letting you know that this feeling of like not winning, this feeling of low self-esteem, of things aren't going your way, of not knowing why this relationship isn't working out, or like why it feels like there are problems in the relationship that you can't solve, that is coming back around, and things are going to actually start to look up for you and in this connection. And it seems like you're currently in more of an energy of the Fool that's like not knowing what's coming next, but open to whatever does come next. Person B, it also looks like you are, at the bottom of the deck, you're dealing with some Five of Swords energy with frustration. Please clarify this Five of Swords for me. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups. Again, this is the third time that the Seven of Cups has come out. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, you're definitely dealing with some frustration that things are taking so long to come back around. So I think that you're also still weighing other options. You're maybe also still not certain about whether to choose this relationship. I think that you haven't been certain for a long time. I think that even if you are committed and you've been married to person A, that you have still been, that you've been in a moment where you, like for a while, where you've been having to figure out how to come back into yourself, back into your power, into your body. So you've been prioritizing yourself for quite a bit. Please clarify the Wheel in reverse. Clarify this Wheel in reverse and the Fool. The Wheel and the Fool. Got the Ace of Cups. It's a new offer, a love offer. You've been getting a love offer from person A. I think that's why you're here today. Because person A has given you a love offer and you are not certain whether to accept it. I think that you are also seeing that this relationship is turning around. You're seeing person A starting to get what it is that you need. I think that person A may even have like a regret over the way that they've treated person B. Maybe like they like kind of bulldozed over them in some way, and so there's been like a change in the way that they're approaching person B right now. At the bottom of the deck, we have Ten of Wands, which is this is like the again that you're having to endure like the last push of this burden. For some of you, you actually may have had a reading a very, very long time ago, like a tarot reading or something, psychic reading, something like that, where you were told that this was going to be a very, very long road. And it may have been like with this lover or with love for you. And so you're kind of, I think that you're like, for those of you that this rings true for, I think that you're in like starting to realize that you are actually starting to see the finish line, the end to the troubles. It may not be fully tangible for you yet, but you are seeing change. You are seeing some sort of momentum. You're feeling the energy. You're feeling the energy of momentum, of change, of things happening in the 4D or 5D or, whatever the other dimension is. Okay? What's the advice for person B? What's the advice for person B? We've got Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit, with the number 37. Okay, we got it in the protection position. Let's take a look at that. It's interesting because both of these oracle cards are the same color scheme. So it feels like you're both on the same page. For some of you, you may not have been, and it's interesting also that they're like looking at each other upside down, almost like the way that I'm looking at them right now. So it feels like you're getting on the same page. You may not fully be there, or like, there's a journey to get there. But it does feel like it feels, person B, like you are healing some childhood trauma, like the things that have been getting in between you and love, and being able to receive love, and to receive love from person A. Let's see. Let's read this message from Lion Spirit. Do you doubt you can do much good? Are you stuck in a state of scarcity thinking? Who am I to lead, or who am I to step into my dream? Who am I to have an amazing relationship? Who am I to think I can help? Lion Spirit is here to tell you that the antidote for low self-esteem is stepping into healthy pride. Of course, you can do all that you desire. The spark of Great Spirit lives inside you, and you are here to steward that amazing energy into the world. Lion Spirit knows that Great Spirit invested in you so that you might be a channel for Spirit's love and generosity. Take pride in your role, seeking to bring an abundance of love into the world. Perhaps you do much good already, but you're feeling unappreciated, wanting to hold back your gifts and hoard them for yourself. Maybe you are looking for attention and praise. Maybe you were even being generous with the expectation that you would be entitled to a repayment. Know that the real magic happens when you remember there is always enough, and you are always enough. Give freely without agenda or expectation, and let Lion Spirit remind you that in giving you receive. Then you will see that you are appreciated. Stop comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as less than, for within you is a wellspring of generosity. Yeah, it definitely feels to me like person B has been maybe dealing with a bit of an inferiority complex in this relationship, maybe just in general as well. It also feels to me like person B is more focused on what they are, like the moves that they're making in the world at large, the way that they're affecting the world. Maybe moving away from a more individualistic mindset into a more communal mindset. And it feels like person A actually needs to, in order to be on the same page, that's why there's a need for a connection to spirit, because it feels like person B is in a very spiritual mindset and is in a very like introspective, not introspective, like intuitive space. It's like they're moving, they're going like there's something bigger than me out there. I'm moving in that spirit, right? Coming into their gifts, their skills, their talents. Maybe also connecting with ancestors. And I think that this is also inspiring person A to see a more spiritual side of things, a more spiritual path. I also think that person A may have taken person B for granted at some point in time. And so person B is needing to see that person A is actually following through with basically, I think that they're like, person A has seen that they've taken person B for granted, and they're trying to make up for it. And also, it's important for, that's why the patience is important. It's really hard to be that patient, but it's very important that person B is patient enough to allow person A to show them consistency in this relationship. There may have been a lack of consistency at some point in time with, person A, like the way that they've been, the way that they were treating person B, or the way that they were treating this relationship. Maybe not putting enough effort into it at times. And so that's why there's so much effort that's going into it right now. And so it does feel like person B is more concerned with their impact on the world and on the community, and person A is more concerned with their impact on person B. And that is, I don't see that as a problem. I think that that's actually okay right now. Because it seems like person A is also benefiting from person B becoming more of a communal and less individualistic person. This feels like something like a situation in which, wow, the sun. This seems like a situation in which both people are being elevated. And it actually doesn't feel imbalanced. At times, maybe person B was taking on more responsibility, or like being more enduring in this relationship. But right now it feels balanced because of the way that things have kind of shifted to where person B is focusing more like outward, and also not just outward, but also it's like outward and inward at the same time. It's like person B is able to look at the shadows and like live in the shadow realm a little bit more. And like do the shadow work that it's difficult for person A to do, because person A is, I think, more like, they're more material. They are more, how do I say this, more practical maybe. They just see things more from a different perspective. They tend to like take more of a positive perspective, whereas person B, it's not that they're negative, but they do recognize, they're able to sit with like the things that are difficult to sit with. They're able to sit with the complexities of life and not get bogged down by them. I think that's why they took on so much of that role in this relationship. So there is that need for them to bring balance to the relationship by not focusing as much on person A as they are focusing on building and connecting and communicating with the world. Because then as person A continues to pour love into person B, their relationship and their status in life begins to elevate. What's the advice here for person B doing all this shadow work for the two of them? It feels like person B is doing a lot of shadow work for the two of them, and that is their work, and that maybe expectations of doing more has been a little bit too much. So there is the need to just focus on really doing the shadow work for the two of you. Air. Breathing deep, entering into life, exchange of life-bringing energies. There is a need for you to receive. There's a need for you to receive. Person B, you need to actually be receiving the love that that person A is giving you. I think that you want that nurturing love. You've been very afraid of receiving it. because you're afraid to be let down by it. I think you've been let down by it. I want to see what the future of this connection holds. What does the future of this connection hold as it stands right now? Yeah, right now, person A is in the position of the giver and person B is in the position of the receiver. And that is just how it needs to be to bring balance back to this connection. We have 8, the stag, in reverse. I'll show it to you right side up. But it's in reverse. There's a need for gentle strength. We have the 8 of arrows, struggle. There's also a need for conflict. You need to be able to have conflict and be able to you both need to be able to communicate with each other in ways that allow you to stand up for yourselves, but also do it with kindness, with gentleness, with love. You have to remember that you love each other. But there is that coming, that's what I see actually for you, is the ability to have conflicts that bring you closer together in the end instead of driving you apart. It feels like conflicts actually bring peace instead of more conflict. It feels like conflicts are resolved instead of feeling like there's something lingering, or like you're having the same arguments over and over again. Future of this connection. Yeah, there's like a change in communication that happens here, and yeah, there's like a moment where you're like observing each other. There's especially a moment where person B is observing person A and seeing that person B is learning how to communicate more effectively. But you also need to still have grace for person A as they're learning to communicate in new ways. We have the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck and Judgment. Okay, person A still kind of has a tendency to go a little bit slow with the like creating new energy in this relationship. And person B still tends to like hold judgment for the way that for how slow person A is at like moving forward. We have the Devil. And at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Cups. What you have to remember, both of you in this connection, is that you're both healing generational wounds. You're both still operating from there's trauma that needs to be actually like healed here, because you're both still operating from your like the way that your families of origin operate. And if you're going to come together, you need to create your own family, your new family together. You have to remember there's your family of origin and there's your family. You have to like look at each other, and this is coming actually for you like in this connection, as you both understand this about each other and you love the parts of each other that are still wounded from your past. you begin to be of service to each other. So, while it is currently person A's responsibility to create a safer space for person B, it's also person B's responsibility in this connection to do their part to raise the vibration of this connection. I see justice and balance. I see justice and balance through this, in your future. There is balance in this connection that it becomes restored. And person B begins to come out of their shell, begins to trust person A. I'm seeing the Knight of Swords here also. There's a more playful energy that begins to come back to this connection. I see you dancing together. I see you each finding joy, apart from each other, but because there's resolution. I see the Strength card, and in this deck, I cannot even show you. It's so spicy. I am seeing such a reignition of your sensual life together. Seeing a lot of mouth action. I'll just say that. I feel like that's the most I can say. I can say that there is renewed passion with each other. I can say that especially if person A has been a little bit more apathetic about the connection, they become extremely, extremely aroused by the situation, we'll just say. And person B begins to really feel safe and also aroused and ready to go there with person A. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for your future, for the future of this connection. Remember, person A, now is the time to be pouring into your lover, to be giving them time, to see your consistency. Person B, it's time for you to be accepting this love from your lover and to be giving it time to see their consistency. Okay. There's a lot of transformation and renewal coming in this connection. So if you've been wondering whether you should leave it, whether you should stay, no one can tell you what to do. But I do see the end of a long period of wondering in this connection. I see that coming to an end. I see you being very certain, very sure about each other. And I see a lot of passion in this relationship, a lot of connection in this relationship, and especially renewal for those of you who have been together for a long time and there's been hurt in this relationship. There is renewal, there is forgiveness, there is the ability to be gentle and soft with each other. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing the way that this unfolds for you. This is such a beautiful connection. I feel like nothing is perfect in life. So it's okay that it's taking you this long to get to this point. You've both been healing your own wounds, and you're both coming into a place where you're able to see each other's wounds and meet each other where you're at and love each other for exactly who you are, and love each other for even the unhealed versions of yourself. Although there is a lot of healing that is coming in this relationship, the healing that comes through this relationship, you're also able to accept each other for being perfectly imperfect. All right. I love this connection. I love this energy for you. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment to let me know that this resonated with you, because this is just such beautiful energy. I'm so happy for anyone who gets to claim it. I love you all. I will see you in the next reading. Bye.